Hi, my name is Dr. Susan Rauch, and I'm excited to be an instructor for English Composition 1. A little bit about me. I hold a PhD in Technical Communication and Rhetoric from Texas Tech University. I also have two master's degrees in English Literature and Technical Communication, both from Texas State University. Over the course of my career, I've taught over 13 years in higher education, focusing on technical communication, business communication, first-year writing composition, user experience, research writing, content strategy and design, health communication, as well as humanities courses in film and digital new media. My professional background also includes working as a technical writing and documentation, including work as a professional proposal writer in the healthcare industry. I've also worked as a UX content strategist, web manager, and worked on document design and editing, which I enjoy bringing to the classroom to help connect theory to real-world practice. My teaching philosophy centers on the belief that all students can succeed when they are supported, encouraged, and challenged to grow. I emphasize clear and timely feedback, active engagement in discussions, and practical applications of course content. So my goal is to help you develop confidence in your abilities while building the skills you need beyond this course. I encourage open communication and want you to feel comfortable reaching out whenever you have questions or need clarification. So outside of teaching, I enjoy music, photography, and travel. A fun fact about me is that I lived in New Zealand and worked there for 2 years with a university teaching science communication. I'm sharing a little bit of myself helps me connect with my students, and I look forward to learning more about you as well. In this particular slide, you can see me at Hoppeton. That was a fun experience. My husband and I, my husband Dave, on the Tongariro crossing. And then an image of myself with my grown children in Oregon. So a little bit about the course that you're going to be taking. You'll be learning about writing style and citing. It doesn't have to be scary. Modules in Blackboard, make sure you're not skipping, make sure you read. The announcements I send out weekly, make sure you read those because I will provide some tips and maybe some clarification on the assignments that you're working on. Also, make sure you're on time with your assignments. You have a little over a week to complete those each week, but you can look ahead and even complete some ahead. Make sure you're following the prompt instructions. That's what I see a lot of times marked off is because you're not looking at the actual style guidelines or the instructions. I can tell maybe that you didn't follow one of the readings, or maybe you should go back and review the readings again. But just make sure you're following the assignment prompts very carefully. The help resources are also in your Blackboard course. You can connect to tutor.com or the UAG Writing Center. All hours, if you have a job or have family and your time is limited to when you can connect, they will help you with your papers. They will provide advice. They will not edit your papers and they will not write your papers, but they will give you some advice on maybe some areas where you're struggling. I may even refer you to one of these sources, including Purdue Online, which is just an online resource for APA, and to help you improve on your writing. Again, check the announcements. I do provide tips, especially on common errors that I'm seeing. And there's also a discussion forum called Ask the Instructor that you can also connect to. And students are more than welcome to respond to each other on that also, by the way. So just wanted to kind of give you the heads up on those items. Make sure you're starting with your in your first module under Blackboard, go to the instructor information and syllabus and start there. Just read through all the university policies, and that's where that form will be for Ask the Instructor. And so you begin there, and then you'll begin with your first module, and you'll continue on after that. But when you click on your first module, you'll see something called W1 Overview and Objectives, and this will be in each weekly module. There are several pages under there that you need to read. Make sure you're not skipping this overview. It will show you all the things you need to do for this course. It will provide worksheets and tips. And for example, under the APA, there is an entire sheet there that talks about APA citation style. And you might want to bookmark those, keep those on hand. I even suggest students keep a playbook. And what I mean by that is every time there's something that you're confused about, or you get the right answer, or maybe I give you some advice on in your assignment, you keep a running tab on a document that talks about each of those. So it's like a checklist, and then you go back and make sure you're not forgetting those items. You'll have 3 assignments due. This one kind of cut off the other 2, but you'll have the discussion forum, you'll have a quiz on whatever you were reading for the weekly modules that week, and then you'll have an assignment 1, and your first assignment is related, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes, to APA. Make sure for those discussion posts, though, that you are providing substantive content in the response, and that you're also providing a substantial amount of feedback to your classmates in the reply posts, which are required. Academic honesty is very important. Plagiarism, don't do it. It gets flagged. And how to avoid a 0 are some of these items here. There is a plagiarism checker. I will check. I get percentages. I get notifications. So please do not copy from another student's paper or something online, or try to just change a few words and claim them as your own. AI is also a culprit of this, and it will be flagged. And I will check. I will check where, and it will give me options of where those sources came from. So make sure you're writing in your own words. If you're not sure how to do it, again, check with the tutor online program or the UAG Writing Center, and they can give you some more advice on how to do that. You can schedule an appointment with me through Zoom, and I will schedule that meeting based on your availability and mine, and we can talk about it also. Again, do not just add a quote and not introduce it, or put quotes around it, or not tell me where you found it. You do not have to introduce so-and-so author wrote this article, blah, blah, blah. You will have a reference sheet, and so you can say according to Anderson in a parenthetical, or if you're paraphrasing it at the end, your parenthetical will identify who the author is, which will go to your reference sheet. So unless it's very relevant, you don't always have to say the name of the article that you're, or the chapter or website that you're quoting, but you will need to make sure you have a parenthetical. If you provide any historical facts or statistics, things like that, even if they're in your own words, don't write them opinionated. Write them from and give a source where you found that information. Otherwise, it is considered subjective opinion and it's not credible. So those are just some things how to avoid zeros in your paper. It may ask you to revise that and send it back, because I do understand this is all new for everyone. I was a non-traditional student myself, and I do understand going back to school after so many years. It's a struggle, especially with family and work. So I know that there's a lot going on in our lives, but you know, if you need some help or you need to ask a question or you're not sure you're clear on something, you please message me and let me know. Late work policy, it's located in Blackboard, but this is the policy. Up to 14 days, I will accept with a 20% deduction from 10 to 20%. After that will be at my discretion. Please do not do nothing, and then at the end of the term you submit everything. That will be a 0. I will not accept that. So try to stay on time. I understand sometimes it's a day late or 2 days. You do not have to let me know. This is just a policy and this is what it is, and just know that you can turn those assignments in a little bit late if you have to, but it will have a penalty attached to it. Your week 1 assignments are these first 3. Now these will be what you'll see every week, and you will see reminders every week that I send out. So you'll have a knowledge check. So your first one's on APA 7th edition. And then you'll have your week 1 discussion forum, which you're responding to a prompt. Be substantive with what you post, and then that's by Sunday, and by Tuesday you need to make sure you are responding to at least 2 of your classmates by the deadline. And in those, just you can't say great job. Make sure you're looking at the rubric. It does say that you won't get points for just 1-line responses. Make sure you provide, like as if you're having a conversation in person. Provide some feedback, ask a question, sort of, facilitate a conversation and discussion. That's what we're looking for in your responses, especially with an online class. Your week 1 assignment, minimum 1 page of written text, double space, following APA, well structured, place spell check and grammar check everything. It's research based, and it's on a contemporary social issue of your choice. So I'll be looking at your writing style. I'm giving you pointers. The week one readings and lectures will help you tremendously on how to reference and how to integrate sources. Again, I understand this is not easy, but this will help you with the assignment. And also another thing is do not write in first person. Leave the I, the we, the us, the you, the your out of your paper. You will have one paper this term you can do that, but this is not. The rest of them, no. You have to be writing very, very objectively, not subjectively, and you'll need to make sure you're citing and using proper sources. So APA 7th edition, there is a worksheet in your module. Do not use the auto citation generators. If you do, I understand. So like when you go to Google Scholar or you go to, you find an article in the library, go directly to the journal source or go to the article source. And even they will give you suggestions on how to cite in a particular style. So APA, I'm fine with that. Just make sure you cross-check because they're not up to date. Make sure you are, hanging indent, sentence case on your it's in alphabetical order. You're just following those. Again, we are not using MLA. You are not writing works cited. You are not using bullets. You're not numbering. You're not using footnoted annotations to take you to your references. Do not use any of those. If you have in the past, great, but that's not for this class. Submit as a Word document. I will not accept PDFs, so it'll be a 0. I cannot accept PDFs, and I cannot accept a shared link to your, Office 365 or to your cloud or whatever. You cannot share a link. You have to put an actual Word document. Do not paste the assignment in the text editor either. So I have to have a Word document. So whatever program you're using, even in Office 365, which is available through the university, download it. Paragraphs should be 3 to 5 sentences long at a minimum. When you're double spacing, as a reminder, you do not have to hit enter twice after a paragraph. It will automatically go, and it should automatically go to an indent because that's how you should have it set up. Name your files with your last name and the assignment name. So if it was me, it would be Ralph. Then I might put W1 assignment. That's fine. Just make sure you're identifying. I want to know who you are and what paper it is that you're assigning. Because sometimes I read these offline or I have to download. All of this is in your module, but here is just a kind of a guideline on the things that you need to do for all of your papers. There may be an exception to that, so maybe your abstract would be an exception where you need a title page, and you need more than this. Title, your name, institution, you need the course name, you need the date, you need all those things. So those are noted in your assignments, but those are the things that you need to include. 1-inch margins all around. Separate page, starts on a separate page for your essays, not on the same page as title. Do not put just a heading above your whatever, your essay has to have a title page unless it's stated you need to just have a heading, and maybe a couple instances of that. 12-point font, Times New Roman, not Calibri, not Helvetica, not Aptos, not Arial, Times New Roman. Line spacing, unless it states otherwise. Double space throughout, including references and block quotes. Page numbering on the top right, if you have to do that, starting from the title page. Running heads, there are some assignments that will and some that won't have this, but just sort of pay attention. But this is typical for APA. Headings, bold case for your major sections, use different heading levels. Indentation, you have to indent all your paragraphs by 0.5. And again, make sure your line spacing is set up for double. It is not set up for single, not multiple, not 1.5, not, whatever. Make sure it's set, and make sure your before and after set at 0 inches, or 0 points, I'm sorry. So make sure that you're going into your line spacing. It will change. There is a default for Word at Aptos and at multiple, and it's just a mess. So just make sure you put a sticky note on your computer and a reminder that you are checking for all of your formatting. References list start on a new page. This is the header, references, not works cited, hanging indent, and again, just go to your reading module materials because they will tell you and help you and provide examples. There's like 3 separate modules or 4 that actually provide you examples with how to do and what they look like. Citations, again, should sort of look like this, unless you also have a page number, then you'll have comma, P, period, page number. And This is kind of an example here of what it may look like. It actually looks a little more indented than this at 0.5, but just make sure that you're including all the proper settings in your paper. So this would be how it would look. I will send out announcements every week, and sometimes I will send out writing tips announcements. So please check the announcements frequently. I'm not sure if you get them in emails all the time, but you may or may not. But please, this will just benefit you to make sure you are cross-checking everything that's going on with this class. Again, for line spacing, you will see here, sometimes I'm seeing multiple 1.6 multiple. Don't make sure it's set up as double. So you'll have to click the toggle down on the menu item for that. So just go to your line spacing. If you're not sure where to find that, please ask me. I will try to help you. Again, here's that tip for a playbook, starting a taxonomy for where you can keep a log of all your formatting, punctuation styles, things that maybe you're making errors in, that I give you comments maybe in your papers, and it's good, to avoid repeating those errors. You can do it in a table, but again, it's just one of those things that will help you continue to succeed in the course. If you have any messages or questions or need help, please message me in Blackboard. I'd prefer that over the email. Regular email, it's too cluttered, so and the university requires us to receive messages from students through Blackboard. So please message me there. You'll go to the messages and you'll see where you can do that. Also, you can ask the UAG Tutoring Center or Writing Center, tutor.com. Those are some other areas. Librarian at the library, they can also help you with writing and referring you to resources if you're not sure where to find those. Again, also with announcements, they should pop up when you when you open your course. That's the first thing you should see. So if you're not seeing those, let me know. It might be in your settings, but I'm looking forward to seeing your work this term. And again, just please let me know if you need any help. And again, welcome to the course.